So we are here. We are at the end of season / start of season roundup for season 15 / season 16. It's going to be a long episode. I've got a lot to get through, and I'm just going to go through everything that's on my mind about the strategy, about the performance of last season. I don't need these on, and just giving a feel for where I think we're at. Got my drink ready because I'm going to be talking for a while. So the best place to probably start is everything that happened last season. We obviously had the 4 clubs here: Kyoto Tiger, Tudela, CF, Los Insurgentes, and Olympic de Bayonne. I'm going to also try and rebrand all of these. Now, the strategy that I had for the season was obviously Tudela CF was the one that I wanted to try and do well with. Los Insurgentes and Olympic de Bayonne were just there to get experience on players. That was the pure purpose of the accounts. So Kyoto Tiger, I bought halfway through the season for $75, I believe. $75, and we finished 11th, no points, awful, relegated, perfect. And the reason I say that is perfect because we earned 10,500 MFL, that made up like 90% of my MFL for the season. And if we have a look at in terms of revenue return, so I've got my spreadsheet here. This is our plan for the season. So we can see here that we've obviously got the clubs. The total profit and loss is minus 287, which is fine because obviously we've got the value of the clubs, we've got the value of the players. We've got 220, again, sorry for any noise you might hear in the background. 220 extra in clubs. We have 4, if we sell them for like $60 a piece, we're probably over where we want to be right now. But that's fine. And the reason that's fine is, I apologise, I still not tidied this all up. I will do at some point, one day, maybe. Los Insurgentes, obviously I paid $80 for, and we made £1.30 on $1.30, which is nothing, but we'll get into all of that. Kyoto Tigers, I made nearly $30, so $45. If this season I can make half that, I'll have $30 left to pay off on the club going into ice. It's changed the way that I look at how I'm going to acquire clubs, rather than taking the approach of buying them in the divisions that I'm currently competing in. So obviously, like the players that I'm packing, they're not going to be any good for a long time. So going into the marketplace for clubs, and if we sort by price, obviously I can get them for $52. But like after one season, essentially, I'm better off, if I was to want to buy a club next season, I'm better off buying a club that is currently in iron or bronze, that I can just have low rev share and keep taking over, because the club is now essentially at the expense of $46. Obviously I can sell it in the future, and I could probably sell that this season if I wanted. There's probably a market for me in buying and flipping clubs after I've taken profit for a season. Something I could consider doing, but obviously I've got a few more seasons. Now if I look up to iron, a $72 club. 2 from Work the Space. Interesting. I wonder if he's just selling up in general or what. He sold quite a... Bought a couple of rare players. Probably not. He's probably just got too much on his plate. He has got a lot of clubs. Chiba Shibas, that'd be a nice one to have. Anyway, besides the point. I just think going forward that how much is in a bronze club? Obviously getting loans, $104, so the difference is $32 on these bronze clubs. If I take, is any of these clubs that I like the location of? I wouldn't pay, one of these 4, if this was Bournemouth, I would buy in a heartbeat, but it's not. Let's have a look at this club for a second. It doesn't have a squad. It'd be hard to get players, I believe, but can't see the rewards for bronze. Squad ranking. You gonna let me have a look on this one maybe? Or did No, they got promoted too. So, I mean, if you take a look at the top of Iron, realistically it's going to be at 20,000 MFL. And then if we were to, how much are the, what was a 20,000, this pack's coming soon, a 20,000 MFL pack, 2 uncommon players, how much would that set me back? This is just the easiest way to get a judge for where I'm at, essentially. So yeah, so $24 a piece, $48, $46 if you're selling it for below market rate. So okay, it's about where it should be in. Or sorry, you'd make more profit from going into bronze and keeping it at 0% if you could afford to do that. There'll be a sweet spot. Obviously, you get more if you sell the limited player packs, which are obviously a fifth of the price. Yeah, $8. So there's a really good markup to be made, and I think that's how I'm going to go about my strategy going forward for buying clubs. I do need to sell some. I don't know what to do with my MFL here because I had 12,000 originally. I'm down to 6, and I'm thinking about cashing some out. Isn't to boost the budget. Obviously, we've got it in essence in here, but I wonder if the market is currently a little bit over inflated because obviously you're slowly tailing down on. People feel like there's quite a skill, like a difference between. Essentially, people think that the average rating is going to drop slightly because obviously there was a massive boom and the market slowed down a bit. So I think I'm just best to hold on to my MFL, and then it gives me some options going forward. The other option I have is maybe selling some players that have some value, but we'll get into all of that. The next club that I had was Olympic Biome. This club is perfect for me because we finished 11th. We got relegated. I wasn't sure if we were going to go down or not because of how many clubs there were. We did go down, which is what I wanted. I lose out on a little bit more of the MFL that I would have got. But 1,200, I made $2.56. Didn't pay much for the club, so I can keep churning and keep doing all right. And it's just going to be a progression club. Then we had the 2 clubs that I did care about. The first one was Los Insurgentes, which finished the club that I bought. Obviously, I just want to get back paying. I paid the $80, which was obviously an overpay, but that's fine. I learned my mistakes. We'll deal with it. Finished 8th, had a nice season. Again, just about getting progression in these players as my camera freezes, but that is absolutely fine because it should hopefully come back. Obviously the amount that you get here is $6.50. Made some of the cups. I barely touched the sides when it comes to the overall earnings, but I also believe that I had more players of my own rather than the other club, which had 0% loans, which explains as to why. Someone asked me in the previous video why I put 5% on my own players, and the reason that I do that is because it helps with accounting. So when we then go to the active player investments, we've got the name of all of the players, and at the end of the season you'll obviously see it there. If you click on how much MFL you have, it gives you a breakdown of all of your incomes, and of course if you put the 5% on, it will work out for me how much it's made from each club. So if we take Sabal for example, he made 15 cents worth of MFL because I divide everything by 300, which is the price for a common pack, 600 is a common pack with $2, so $1 is 300 MFL. That's the equation of which I use. So made 15 cents from him, so I've got $1.85 to pay back how much I paid for him essentially. That's the way then I'm going to operate. I could sell him for more. I bought quite a few players here for $3 looking back, which I just wanted to do it for the video, but it just feels a bit high, and I guess the $2.50 ones aren't as bad. So Connolly, obviously, hopefully we can make it back on him because he's a solid goalkeeper, but the certain players like Ashton for $12.50 when you now equate it seems really, really high, and I don't think the limited packs are going to be worth it for me going forward. I'm just going to stick to the kickoff ones and my end of season reward ones. That's all I'm going to do. Maybe I might try and sell some packs for $3, but you then of course run the risk of not being able to sell them if if essentially you can't, if nobody buys them, because obviously there's such an influx on the market at the minute. That's why I think I'm just going to wait it out, and hopefully some people clear out their MFL and the market settles, and I just get a feel for when the best time to sell is. But that's why I put it to 5%. No players have returned profit yet. I don't expect them to for a while. We're not going to touch the page until that's basically for later down the experiment, and we can see what players are worth it, what's working well. And then finally we have Tudela CF. Now this was a club that I really cared about, and it did get promoted, which is good and bad. The reason it's good is because obviously I got the MFL from it, and this club made, how much did this cost my Sarah? This club made $5.47, a nice tick back, and that's partly from the cup and partly from the league. The problem now is next season I don't have any players to put into it, and I think ice might be a bit more expensive. I'm going to try and be really, really diligent in getting as low percentage, but I might just try and keep it in the league, because I've got a couple players that are close to the rating that would be required, and therefore then I can maybe move them on in a couple seasons. So the structure that we now have is we have a stone, an ice, and two, let's go back to it here, a stone, an ice, and 2 flints. I'm going to stick with this for now, because I like having my 2 flints for my players. Tudela, it would have been nice if it had stayed at that level, but honestly, I'm not really ready to put my own players in there yet, so it can just stick. And Kyoto Tiger is just coming down as we drain the MFL for it. That's where the clubs are looking. They're all in a solid spot, which I'm pretty happy with. Now, when it comes to the players, let's first sort by progression. Obviously, I can't see the current season. Can see the current season because it hasn't updated yet. All of these players were pretty much new, okay? Now we had a little bit of nice growth from, unfortunately, Letelier is retiring. He is going to retire at 37 though, so it's not really too bad. I paid $1 for him, I think, and he's just a solid player. Obviously, everybody from now on is pack owned, but that's how that works. Mominovic is really, I'm really happy with a +2 in his first season, and he's 22 now, so hopefully we get another 13 season out of him, and he can just keep growing. He's going to the main development team because he can play. He's our best left back. We are struggling a bit for left backs, but I'll loan them in as and when I need to. Felipe, I'm not too fussed about. He's 25. He's a good progression. He's a solid cam, but apart from that, it's not setting the world alight. Sabao is someone that I am excited about, and he's kind of I feel the most attachment to him because I believe I paid $2 for him. Yeah, $2, and he's already tier broken at 22. If I were to sell him, let's have a look. Limited max age, we'll go 23 because that seems about fair. And let's go price low to high to see what we could get for him. $5 seems like a pretty fair amount, okay? And the problem now is I've got to weigh up is, do I think I would get $5 worth of value from him throughout the season, or what, or throughout his career, or am I better to try and sell him and recoup some of the funds in? Because there are going to be certain players that we're going to need to do that to. The other one that is interesting is Jacobs, 58 at 19. Let's have a quick look because age max set to 19. I just think that the value that I could get for him, price $13, maybe about $18. I mean, if I can get $18 for him, I just don't feel like he's going to return me $18 throughout his career. I mean, he's got to pay off. He's done $1 in his first. So, $1 in his first season. If he played at that level and I got the max amount of seasons out of him, and he obviously grew, then yes. which makes me think, but then he was also the weakest player in that team, and that wasn't a fair reflection, so his return would probably be about 50 cents. I'm going to keep him just to see, but it's something that is really, really difficult to weigh up. Certain players I don't think I'm going to make it back from, like Ashton. Do I just consider selling him? I mean, Ashton's had no progression as well this season, which kind of concerned me a bit, and he's 25. So let's have a look at a centre back that is, let's go, I always like to do 63 to 61. Age of 26. Price low to high. $5 you're looking at for him. It's just not worth, like, I'm not going to make back what I spent on him, which is fine. I mean, if I can do it in MFL, great, but this season's really going to be a tell because I could do with Los and Sergientes being promoted. Maybe, I don't know if the quality of the strength of player is there, though. That's the only thing. I've been able to put their squad together, and this is what we've got for the upcoming season. We've got a really strong attack here. The defence is where we're struggling. French and Conley, I'm hoping to get some good progression out of. They're 24 and French is 22. Becker, he's a really nice player that we did get in one of the packs. Opened my reward packs. I probably should have saved it for the video, but we did it anyway. And so the players that we have obviously packed is Zapata's come in. I spent $7 on the limited pack because it's cheaper in theory for me to buy the limited pack and sell the common packs by $3, so I save money doing it that way. And I'm happy with it. Like, I'm not sure how I feel about them. You know what? It's not the best strategy, but we're also currently limit testing what we're going to do. So how much are they? These ones are $2. I want to know how much these packs are. If we sort by price, $6 for 55 to 59, $7 for these, $8 for this one. Because I'm going to buy it here. I don't have much in my wallet right now, but that's fine. Because I'm just intrigued to see, A, if we get someone, can we then sell on their replacement? And B, the value of the players that we get in them. Because obviously if you get someone young, you get that value that you can sell. And I think these packs are more worth it. Because this is, I mean, it's $4.50 cheaper than buying the limited pack in the drops. So you have more chance to return on the player, obviously depending on who you get and everything. I mean, we're going to have a look to see here. I would like someone who plays in a good position. Central midfielders are really hard to come by, so for me, if I can get a good central midfielder, I'm happy. I don't want a goalkeeper, but I wouldn't say no to one. Age, I think, is key here. What position do we get at? An age. 21 is good. Right wing, I don't play right wingers. Oh, quick. 61 rated right winger at 21. Can he play any other positions? No. Okay. Now, in my second team, I am going to play with wingers. I think he's too good for that. And I feel like right wingers are at a bit of a premium. So, if I go to age of max 22 and a right winger who is overall, and that's also, I think it's better just getting the price low to high. $17 is the cheapest here. I think what is it? 21. What are we looking at? $19. I think, again, I've bought the guy. If I can get, what's 18 payback? $17.20. Cool. We're just going to listen straight out because he doesn't suit our system. I think if you want to do that, I mean, I've made hopefully a nice $10 profit. I'm going to sell him for sure. I'm not going to keep him. He does not fit our system that we play, but I'm also going to track him and his career to see how he does, to see if I regret it. I've always felt that players under the age of 23 are overvalued. 23 is like the sweet spot, and then obviously past that is the best point. If I can get him sold, perfect. We even open to offers on him. But it's, well, there's your pack for you. But it does just make you kind of think. Obviously, again, wrong spreadsheet. It does make me feel like maybe I was originally wrong. Obviously, getting the limited packs is good in returns of MFL, common packs, but maybe in terms of the limited, there is more value to be made in flipping cards. Again, I don't know, and we're going to see. We've also got the inactive ones where we've packed players and sold them, so we're way up on this, but I think I only sell them when they're profitable, which is why this one's going to be overinflated compared to the current active player investment. H61. Yeah, that gives me what we earned from players from last season, which was $4.73, which isn't a lot, but these players have a long time to grow. I mean, in essence, we may as well do one more pack since the last one was so successful. I like these ones are a bit more concerning, the common packs, because obviously with the limited ones you have a nice range in which the player could be between, whereas I don't have any packs open. Whereas these ones, there isn't the floor. Obviously you have 45 and up, but you need to have players that are at least 50 rated for them to be of any use. But again, I think you're better off opening 2 and hoping that one is, and maybe if one falls below that, you don't mind. Let's have a look. What do we get? It's not going to be as valuable as the last pack. Age is key. French. Oh wow, that makes my life hard. He doesn't look great though, so maybe he's like 50, 40, yeah. What do you do with this player? He's 18. He's got a long way to go. I need to add him to... how do I add him to my watch list? Can I only do that once I've sold him? No, I'll add him to the watch list. And we're going to add the other player that I've just packed here to the watch list. Obviously, this club is going to begin to fill out with loads and loads of players, so you're probably not going to grow too much of an attachment to a lot of them. 18-year-old centre mid. What's the cheapest on the market? Position, centre mid, age, 18. Because they're just as... Like, you look at the price of some of these guys, and it's so high. I mean, if I can even get $4, $7. I mean, he's... Let's go 43 to 47. Is there any way that I can see players sold? MFL Assistant is a great tool for this, because it's just making me think maybe there is some... Maybe I should open another one, because obviously if we can keep making profit like this. Market tools. What rating was he? 45, 18. These are central midfielders. Floor is 13. 19. About $6 it says. I mean, like I said, if I can list him for, what's 19 going for? Yeah, if I can get like $6 for him, that seems quite fair. Let's have a look. Where is the guy? I mean, we'll go 7 for now, and if someone wants him, cool. But I just think it's important to know when you can be profitable and when you need to, like when I need to buy and when I need to sell. There's a nice little bit of ROI I'll get on these players either way. And I think we'll do one more because they do seem to be returning for me. And obviously this is a good way for me to turn my MFL into actual cash, which is the hardest part. Again, it probably isn't the most effective, but let's have a look. This one's probably going to be like a $1 player. Like, I'm kind of owed one. I mean, age-wise, that's probably the most important thing. I'm just going to keep an eye on the players too. And obviously, I'll probably have to reduce the price on them, but if I put it there for the time being, I mean, all of these players are essentially 1 season old in the agency. If I need to put this guy, if I can't sell him for whatever reason, and I need to put him in the development centre, I will. I packed a goalkeeper here who's 21, who I think is going to be the first player I put in the development centre, because I don't have enough spot for him. And he's at an age where he could grow. I'm also just intrigued to see how it kind of works out for me. But yeah, sorry this video's been a bit more of a ramble. Once I talk through my ideas about how to try and stay profitable and all of that kind of stuff. Because I think I've got a couple of free tokens too, which could be useful actually. Let's have a look. Tariq Masood, Tunisian, 25. This is more about what I was expecting to be working towards. And that's when you get the useless player. So realistically, he could, if I had a third squad, he could make it into that. I'll decide what to do with that guy. But that's what you kind of got to watch out for. I'm guessing, where was that guy? He was like a 46, 25. Cam, age 23 to 25, overall 44 to 46. He'll be a $1 player, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, $1 player. And that's where you've got to make the argument. Is it better to, the players that you do get, is it better to use him? Or essentially, is it better to buy a $1 player like him? Because if he cost me $1, I could return that so easily. And obviously, maybe you could sell him for more. I'm going to keep him just because he may have a use at some point. But that's what you've got to, kind of what you got to weigh up. I've probably rambled on for long enough now. Hopefully, these two players do sell at some point. The HCL is a really, really nice pool. Sadly, he's not going to be any use to me, so I've just got to cut my losses. And yeah, Everett, I just don't believe in teenagers. I mean, Jacobs has been our experiment, and he's not really shown the value. I mean, he's not all time. He's made one progression in defence. He's a 58 rated. If I'd have sold him when he was 17, age, and he was 57 to 59. Okay, there isn't any. Let's go 16 to 18. 56 to 60. 16 to 19. Well, he's a bit of a unicorn, to be fair. Well, they're still $20. You got to think maybe 30. Just depends on. I feel like there isn't as many buyers for young players because there isn't as many in the game. Purchase offer $4. No, probably not. I mean, there's some offers up there, but there you go. Either way, if I accept both of these, I've made profit. I think I'll. What have I got him listed for? 7? Maybe if I. Is it going to let me counter actions? Offers price. I'm going to have to figure out how I can do this. Because HCL, I mean, they're probably worth a little bit more than that, you would argue. I will be willing to accept, if I go 550, I'm okay with that. I'm willing to accept $5.50. I believe I've got this guy listed for... What have I got him listed for? $14, $18. Maybe I could go... If I go 17... Sure. 17, and then he'll probably will meet somewhere in the middle. But yeah, you probably watched this video for long enough and have bored out of your mind. But I hope you've got some insight. Again, if you've got any questions or advice to offer me, just hit me up. Let me know what you're thinking, because I really want to know where everyone stands and yeah, just a bit more about what everybody else is doing and any improvements that I can make. But yeah, anyway, guys, have a good one, and I'll see you on the next one.